What's up, everybody? This is Corey Van Kessel, Cook of the Movie Chumps, and joining me,
Corey K.
All right, so we just got out of Project Hail Mary, the new film, science fiction film starring Ryan Gosling and directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, based on the Andy Weir, the best-selling Andy Weir science fiction book. Corey, what are your initial thoughts?
First off, I went in as blind as possible to this. I've never read the book. Knew nothing about other than it's Ryan Gosling in space, and I was like, I'm hooked. I'm in. Got it. Did not know it was Lord and Miller directing this, which after those credits rolled and I saw that, this makes so much sense. It is so much fun and so much deeper than what appears on surface level. This is perfect for their type of direction.
Yeah, and as somebody who's a fan of the book myself, I've read it 3 or 4 times. This is a damn near perfect adaptation, in my opinion. They made some slight changes. It's almost 2 hours and 40 minutes, but for me, it flew by, Corey.
No, same here. I think they did a great time of utilizing their time of telling the story and further reinforcing the themes that they were going for and further diving into the character of Ryan Gosling and how in tune he is with this alien life, whereas on Earth, he's not in tune with anybody.
Yeah, and the real budding relationship, of course, in this case is between Ryan Gosling's character of Dr. Ryland Grace and also the character of Rocky. And that if that relationship doesn't work, this film doesn't work, but it is so good. It's so crazy to say that Ryan Gosling has incredible chemistry with a puppet, but he really does, and the puppetry is amazing too.
No, honestly, I did not. Was it an actual puppet? Or
it was an actual puppet.
Okay, I could not tell. That's how good it was. I sat there the whole film going, is this CGI? Is this the CGI? No, knowing it's a puppet, that's insane to me, honestly. I'm kind of more blown away now knowing that was all animatronic puppet, because the way that thing moved was so creepy yet calming at the same time. There's no better way to really describe it. It just was all over the place, and it was so only creepy because it does not move like a human. It does not act like a human, but also at the same time, you're not really bothered by it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, too, about this as well, Corey, is that it's amazing how much pro-science and pro-thinking and pro working together and collaboration this is, without, especially with somebody who is completely alien from you, literally, with not coming off as hokey, but in a real life or death situation where they're actually having to try to save both their worlds.
Right, and I think that's the initial reason why they started talking, but the bond that grew from that was because they found the common ground to continue to grow and learn who they were. My gut says, my knee-jerk reaction is say Gruta knew who they were as people. They're not fucking people, though. They're not. And I think that's what's kind of wild to me is it's literally two completely different species, even including in the air and the atmosphere that they can survive in. But they found this common ground and they built that bond out from the ground up. It's a beautiful story, and oh my God, I'm still kind of in awe. I'm still in awe, sitting through all those credits, taking everything in. Visually, so amazing, too, on top of this.
Yeah, we got Greg Fraser's, once again, is proving to be one of the great cinematographers of our time. He's getting on par there with, Roger Deakins. And it's just a visual, beautiful feast. Almost 2001 in sometimes its visuals. But what also struck me too, Corey, was how amazing Daniel Pemberton's score is. This I'm gonna be thinking about the score for a while.
I think the best thing about the score, and I think this is the thing with sci-fi scores, you're either gonna nail it or you're not. I don't find there's very many in between, and I think one of the things that a lot of people who are doing the scores of sci-fi films, they like to really lean in on synthesizers, sometimes a little too much without really enough properly complementing it. This film does use a lot of synth, but it complements it properly with other instruments on top of that. You hear the synth, you feel the synth, not just because it's IMAX, you feel it in the moment, but you are also experiencing the other instruments individually as they mix in. It spoke to my soul, so many of these scenes. to like where he's walking down this like cavern towards the end, and there's just this sense of dread that's coming through, and then finally like a good decent reveal that happens, and the release that you get from finally knowing what's going on. I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible.
Yeah.
It spoke to my soul.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's definitely some moments here where I was like on the edge of my seat. Like the action is just incredibly great as well. But as Corey was saying, the story is amazing. And I gotta say, it doesn't get said enough, but Ryan Gosling, I don't know if he's ever been better. I mean, he is just so good at doing practically anything, and he makes it look so effortless.
No, Ryan Gosling is such an unsung hero when it comes to like just stardom. I think the problem is he is so unbelievably talented when it comes to like being funny that people try to write, like, it's so easy to write him off that way. But when you see him finally get any project with some meat and bones to it, even when there's humor to it, he knocks it out the park every time. I would not be surprised if he gets an Oscar nomination for this. Will he win? Possibly, but we'll see if he at least gets the nomination first.
You bring up a great point too, Corey, that I want you to comment on is this movie is goddamn hysterical. Like it is actually legit laugh out loud funny multiple times. The line, and I'm not spoiling anything and it's out of context, so you're not going to get it, but the line, "I hate Mark," is hilarious.
The "I hate Mark" was pretty funny. The fist my bump personally spoke to me as well. I don't know if that was in the book or not, but like I kind of hope it wasn't, because I think that's a nice little like joke on language that I think people are really going to also enjoy on this.
One last thing to mention before I ask you for the score. I want to get your thoughts on a score, but I want to get your thoughts first on seeing this in IMAX. Not only IMAX, but we saw it in 70 millimeter perf, which is kind of a first thing going on because here in Rochester, New York, we got an IMAX theater where they just revamped them, and it's one of only 30 that are like this in the entire world. What did you think about the experience seeing this in 70 IMAX glory?
There's so much that I want to say about it. It's almost overwhelming how well put together it is, and it's such a treasure that like we're not like a huge city, man. We're Rochester, New York, and we have one of like the 30 in the entire world 70 millimeter like
we're home of film, baby.
It's insane though to me. Like what have we done lately? Come on. That's what I'm saying here. But like it's so, I think that it's the proper way to experience a film with this type of cinematography, with this type of a big feel to it. This is the proper way to view it. I think that if I were to go back and see this in the theaters again, I would only have to see it like this, because any other way, it's not going to feel the same.
I completely agree. I know I always say this, see this on the biggest screen possible, but literally you are doing yourself a disservice if you don't see this in IMAX, 70 millimeter if possible, if that is in your area. So I'll do mine in a second, but Corey, I got to ask you, I know this is fresh out of the theater. What if you had to score this between if you had to score this between a 0 to 10, what would you give it initially?
I think initially, from just kind of sitting with it and right out the theater, I'm going to give this a very strong 8. I think it's a great film. I think there's some very good performances within it. I think the only time it's kind of lacking is just in some of like the supporting cast. Yes, they're not really important, but overall, for me, they do tend to the score. The supporting cast was just pretty much okay overall, and I think they're the ones that kind of brought this down. This could have possibly been a 9, maybe even a 9.5 for me, but I think that because of that supporting cast, it brought it down. Otherwise, everything hits on every single level as it should.
And for me, so I'm a strong 9.5 leaning towards a 10. In fact, I'm going to say it's a 10 because my definition of a 10 is not necessarily a masterpiece. In my rating systems, it goes 0 through 10 and then masterpiece. This is not a masterpiece, but to me it's a 10 because it is an absolute must-see, and I cannot wait to see it again. Guys, I'm telling you, run to the theater and see this thing. It filled me with so much joy, awe, and wonder, and made me remember why I love going to the movies, and I need that, even as a movie fan, every once in a while. Anyway, that is our thoughts. I am Corey Van Kesselcook of the Movie Chumps.
I am Corey K. If That Sounds Terrible, Go On.
And we'll see all of you guys next time. Peace.